Are you tired of failing in the neutral game?
Fuck out of here, boy. Get that weak shit out of here.
Frustrated by one-hit kills?
Hold it, turn around, punch for 50%.
You gonna cry in the car.
Constantly getting hit by the same moves?
This dude did a 10-hit combo. This dude's doing strings.
Struggling to counter zoning? Well, fear no longer. Behold.
Kakura.
Ah! Take this!
Yay, Broly is here. Arguably one of the most requested characters to come into Dragon Ball FighterZ as DLC. This character takes up the brawler/juggernaut archetype. Speaking of juggernaut, look at how big Broly is in this game.
Houston, we have a problem.
In terms of gameplay, Broly has all the ingredients of what makes a scummy character to face online. For anyone unaware of Broly's arrival, I will try to sum him up using his name as an acronym that I've made up. B stands for busted. With Broly having armored moves, good damage and average speed in comparison to the rest of the cast, it's very clear that Broly is busted. R stands for reach. Because Broly is incredibly massive, he also has insane reach in his normals. So if you're ever facing a Broly player, think twice before spacing yourself, so you don't get hit by his normals at deceptive ranges. O is offensive. I find it offensive that Arc System Works made the color of his cinematic explosion orange instead of green.
Really, nigga?
Please fix this. L is lose. When playing with Broly, you will often find yourself hitting opponents in situations where you shouldn't have. In order to achieve great results with Broly either online or offline, it requires the player to be comfortable with losing their morals. Last but not least is why Arc System Works. Why in the name of Shenron did you give Broly armored command grabs? As mentioned before, Broly has quite a lot of long-ranged buttons. Not only that, some of them even have armor. Now, since this is a new game covered on this channel, I will explain the notation to those unfamiliar to Dragon Ball FighterZ and other anime fighting games. Dragon Ball FighterZ and other anime fighting games follow a numbered notation, where the directions are determined by the numbered on the keyboard. So now that you know the notation, let's get started. Broly's best normals are best described in 3 words. All of them. Sorry to give you guys the vague answer, but after asking people who play Broly, they've all given me that exact answer. If you're still confused, remember this: all of his medium and heavy buttons have armor and range. Like his normals, Broly's special moves have disgust written all over them, as some are even armored. Now I must warn you that some of the content I'm about to show will be scummy to the point where it's unbearable to watch. So if you haven't done so already, grab your visual pollution protector eye drops and apply them to your eyes. You've been warned. Starting off with Lariat Express. Here's a fun fact. If you translate Lariat Express into German, you get
Überraschung, Krankenwagen. Schmetterling.
When translated back into English, you get 100% corner carry, which makes perfect sense considering that this move does exactly that. Broly charges up and takes the opponent to a one-way stop to the corner. Remember that this move has infinite armor, so you can beat out normals, ki blasts and beams with this move. As I mentioned earlier, Gigantic Claw is a command grab with 1 hit of armor. You mainly want to use the medium version of this move as you'll get the furthest range without having to spend meter. If you land this in the corner, you can land a full combo without using Vanish. Gigantic Strike is essentially an air grab. You mainly want to use this move as a combo ender, which you can either follow up with a level 3 super or run towards your opponent for more pressure. Aside from his ki blasts, Eraser Blow serves as a projectile at medium to long ranges. However, at point blank, The move triggers a cinematic attack that results in a wall bounce when close to the corner. Do keep in mind that this projectile is his assist attack, which as an assist is quite decent. Last but not least, well, in a way, it is least, is the powered shell. On startup, Broly shouts,
My power is maximum!
When in this barrier, Broly is immune to projectiles, making it a useful tool for approaching your opponents. However, whilst you are immune to projectiles, you are not immune to supers. So don't think for a second that this move makes you immune to wake up level 3 supers. Broly has got 2 supers, which are both powerful and have a lot of utility. Starting with his level 1 super Eraser Cannon, Broly up close lands an uppercut and then follows up with a projectile. Since there are 2 parts to this super, you can have specific follow-ups with the character you are switching into, which in short means that you can connect more than 2 supers afterwards. Gigantic Meteor is Broly's level 3, which in fact comes in 2 variations. Broly flies up and throws a massive projectile at his opponent. The first version makes Broly throw a massive orb downwards at his opponent. The second version, however, fires a smaller and slower orb which expands when in contact with the opponent. As a result of this unusual property, this allows Broly to crank out insane damage by doing to level 3 supers in one combo.
What? Oh? Stop. Yo, Rico Suave has been in the lab.
You think this bus ass is funny? This bus ass is funny.
Hey, there's some bullshit.
Or use this to create an ambiguous mix-up.
Trash will always be trash.
Since there are no character-specific stories in Dragon Ball FighterZ, I figured that I might as well make one up. So here it is. After the event of Broly being blasted into the sun by the family Kamehameha, Broly didn't die. He actually miraculously ended up on the moon. Once he was on the moon, Broly went into a coma for almost a decade, until he heard certain sounds which went like this.
Then those goddamn Gokus and Vegetas.
Was the inclusion of regular Goku as well as regular
Saiyan Goku is Saiyan Goku. This is the Blue Goku and this is the Rosette.
Before Broly went on his search to find Goku, Broly found himself looking a little scruffy, so went to the nearest barber shop to get a fresh beard trim. After a while, Broly got a little bored of Earth, so he went on an excursion on the moon, where he suddenly found a familiar face. Goku and Broly fought relentlessly as time passed. For a while, it looked as if it were a very uphill battle for Goku to win, but what Broly hadn't realized is that Goku has a special type of bodysuit called plot armor. Therefore, when Broly tried to land the final blow to Goku, Goku ultimately overpowered him and became victorious.